Hello guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. I'm doing 2011 playoffs. So, you can't, in an NHL 19 when you're doing a simulation of playoffs, you can't have it reseed the teams after the first round. So, since I can't do that, I'm just doing it by the, oh my gosh, I've forgotten already. So it's basically since Detroit won and San Jose won, and they played each other, I'm setting up how that, like that. So Detroit and San Jose won, so those two series are together. Vancouver and Nashville won, so those two series are together. Washington and Tampa won, so those two series are together. I think Philly won and Boston won, so those two series are together. If you want me to, I can do it how they were normally seeded. So it'd be Capitals, Rangers, and then be sorry. I can just do it a different way. Leave that down in the comments if you want me to. So, let's start the playoffs. Sorry. Let's get into game one for Arizona and Detroit.
Cause I bet this feeling better. I'm in for whatever today. I got everything together now. Do me a pleasure, don't spoil my leisure. I'm headed for the treasure, end of the rainbow. Down for whatever if it doesn't contain. Just pull the lever and feel entertained. Cause if you can't get the pressure, go out of your head. When you wake in the morning till you go into bed, hold away. Get some rest off your chest, you better get some. So, pardon me, yo, if I go off beat. Kick that C-note, kill me softly. I may seem friendly, but yo, I'm more like Leo over Wall Street.
Okay, so since LA won, I'm gonna leave the series. Nashville and Anaheim. Nashville wins game one. Tampa and Pittsburgh.
So let's pour me another one of those. No more games. Thoughts till you listen to this folklore. Good life, yo, you heard it in the chorus. Living life like I'm listening.
Sorry, I'm
but truth is, I'm that broke.
Boston wins game one. Arizona and Detroit. Sorry if I cut out. My mic's been kind of iffy. So that's game two for them. Okay, so Chicago and Vancouver. Chicago will take game two. New York and Washington, who take game two. New York will tie it. Buffalo and Philly. Buffalo will tie the series. LA and San Jose. I think LA tied it. Oh no, it's tied. Sorry. Nashville, Anaheim. Yes, Nashville won game 2. Tampa and Pittsburgh. Tampa tied it. Montreal and Boston. Montreal will tie it. So after game 2, all the series are tied except for 3. Detroit and Arizona Detroit is leading Arizona 2-0. Chicago is leading Vancouver 2-0, and Nashville is leading Anaheim 2-0. All the other series are tied at 1 apiece. So let's get into game 3 for Detroit and Arizona. Arizona won. Vancouver and Chicago. Vancouver won. Okay. Washington and New York. And Washington will take the lead. Philly and Buffalo. Will Buffalo take the lead? Nope. Philly will. That series is just a series of bad teams. So San Jose and LA. LA will take game 3. Anaheim and Nashville. Nashville will take game 3. Pittsburgh and Tampa. Pittsburgh will take game 2. Boston and Montreal. And Montreal will take the lead 2 games to 1. Okay, so game 4, starting with Detroit and Arizona. Arizona will tie it. Vancouver and Chicago. Chicago will take the lead 3-1. Will Washington take the lead 3-1, or will New York tie it? Washington wins. Pittsburgh and Buffalo, can Buffalo tie it? Philly and Buffalo, can Buffalo tie it? Buffalo ties it. San Jose and LA. San Jose ties it. Can Nashville please pull off a sweep? Nope, they don't. And I have, what she said, 5. Whew. Pittsburgh and Tampa. Tampa ties it 2 games apiece. Final game 4, Boston and Montreal. Boston will tie it. So every series is tied at 2 apiece except for Chicago, which is Chicago and Vancouver, which Chicago is leading 3-1. Nashville and Anaheim, which Nashville is leading 3-1. And Washington and New York, which Washington is leading 3-1. Let's get into game 5, starting with Arizona and Detroit. Detroit will take game 5. Chicago and Vancouver. Vancouver will push it, will force game 6. Rangers and the Capitals. Rangers will win, forcing it to 6. Buffalo and Philly, who will take the lead? Buffalo will. LA and San Jose. LA will take the lead 3-2. Nashville and Anaheim, will Anaheim force game 6, or Nashville will Nashville win and going into round 2. And Nashville will close out the series 4-1. First team into round 2. Tampa and Pittsburgh, yep. And Pittsburgh will win. So the last game for game 5, game 5, Montreal and Boston. And Boston will win. So the only team to move on so far is Nashville, who beat Anaheim 4-1. So game 6, starting with Detroit and Arizona. And Arizona will force game 7. That is awesome. Vancouver and Chicago, will Vancouver force game 7? Vancouver will force game 7. Wow. Washington and New York. New York will force Game 7. Will Philly force Game 7, or will Buffalo move on? Game 7 for Philly and Buffalo. San Jose and LA. Will San Jose force Game 7 like most all the other teams have? Or will LA close out the series? That's kind of 7 as well. Wow, okay. Pittsburgh and Tampa. Will Tampa force 7 like most every other team except for Anaheim? Or will Pittsburgh close out the series? Pittsburgh closes out the series. Last one. All other teams except for 2 have forced Game 7. Will Montreal or will Boston be the third team to move on? Boston will be the third team to move on. So, Nashville has moved on, who beat Anaheim 4-1. Boston has moved on, who beat Montreal 4-2. Pittsburgh moved on, beating Tampa 4-2. Yep. Okay, Game 7, starting with Arizona and Detroit. Who will win? Arizona will pass Detroit, who I think was the President's Trophy winner at the time. I don't know. They were really good at this time. They might have actually also won the Central Division. Chicago and Vancouver. Vancouver will move on. New York and Washington. Washington will move on. Buffalo and Philly. Philly will move on. LA and San Jose. San Jose will move on. And so you have your round 2. San Jose and Arizona. Vancouver and Nashville, which is a repeat of 2011. Capitals and Pittsburgh, which is also a repeat of 2011. And Boston and Philly. So I think that might also be a repeat of 2011. Sorry, I'm thinking. It has to be. No. You know, I don't know. Okay, well, let's get into Game 1, starting with Arizona and San Jose. San Jose will take Game 1, Nashville and Vancouver. Nashville will take Game 1, Pittsburgh and Washington. Washington will take Game 1. Oh my gosh. I just looked at this. Johansson, or Johansson, however you say his name. It doesn't really matter. Has 10 points, 8 assists, and 2 goals. Just want to see how many goals they've scored. 18 goals across 6 games. That is crazy. Okay. Sorry. Boston and Philly. And Philly will take Game 1. Arizona and San Jose. Arizona will tie it. Nashville and Vancouver. Vancouver will tie it. Pittsburgh and Washington. Washington will take a 2-0 lead. Boston and Philly. And Boston will tie it. So the only team that has a 2-0 lead is Washington. San Jose and Arizona. San Jose wins. Vancouver and Nashville. Vancouver wins. Oof, that long break probably wasn't good for, or ideal for Nashville. Washington and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh will move on, will win. Philly and Boston. Philly will win. San Jose and Arizona. San Jose will move on. Vancouver and Nashville. Oh my gosh. What in the world is happening to Nashville? You're down 3-1. I don't like this. Washington and Pittsburgh. Washington wins. Philly and Boston. Philly will win. So every series is a 3-1 lead. San Jose is leading Arizona. Vancouver is leading Nashville. Washington is leading Pittsburgh. Philly is leading Boston. Arizona. So game 4. No, game 5. Starting with Arizona and San Jose. Can San Jose close out? Will Arizona force game 5? Or 6. Arizona force game 6. Can Nashville please make a comeback? Yes, they will win. Okay. Pittsburgh and Washington. And Washington will be the first team to move on to the Eastern Conference Finals. Can Philly win and move on to the Eastern Conference Finals to play Washington, or will they lose to Boston? Boston will win game 5. The only team to move on is Washington. Which, I don't know if that also happened. I don't think it did. In 2011. San Jose and Arizona. Can Arizona force game 7? Nope. San Jose will move on. Can Nashville please force this game 7? Yes! Okay. Philly and Boston. Can Boston force game 7, or will Philly move on to the Eastern Conference Finals? Okay. They will Boston will force the game 7. Nashville and Vancouver, game 7. Yes! Nashville will come back down 3-1. Oh my goodness. Thank goodness. Boston and Philly, who will move on to Eastern Conference Finals against the Washington Capitals. Boston will. So you have Nashville and San Jose, which at the time would have been the first time Nashville moves on to the Western Conference Finals. As we know now, they moved on and they beat Anaheim in 6 games in 2017, and they lost in 6 games to Pittsburgh. Sorry, 4-2 in the Stanley Cup Finals. So game 1 for Nashville and San Jose. Nashville will take game 1. Boston and Washington. Washington will take game 1. Nashville and San Jose. Nashville will take game 2. Washington and Boston. Washington will take game 2. San Jose and Nashville, game 3. Nashville will go up 3-0. Washington and Boston. Washington will go up 3-0. Okay. Can Nashville sweep? Nope. San Jose will force game 5. Can Washington sweep, or will Boston game? Nope. Washington will sweep. Can Nashville close out the series? And they will! Oh my goodness! You have your Nashville Predators and your Washington Capitals, my 2 favorite teams in the playoffs. I want Nashville to win, but I mean, I'd still be upset if they lost, but I wouldn't be nearly as upset, say, someone like Pittsburgh would have won. Game 1, Stanley Cup Finals. Washington will take Game 1. Game 2, Nashville tie it. Game 3, Nashville take a 2-1 lead. Game 4, Washington will tie it. Game 5, Nashville will go up 3-2. Game 6, oh my gosh, Washington 4-7. Who will win the Stanley Cup Finals? Nashville will win the first cup. Oh my gosh, yes! Yes! Ah. I know it's a simulation. I don't care. I'm so happy. Whew. Your 2011 Stanley Cup champions are your Nashville Predators in Game 7. They were at the brink of elimination, down 3-1 against Vancouver in round 2. They come back and beat them in 7. Then they absolutely crushed San Jose in 5. And they come to the Stanley Cup Finals and they beat Washington 4-3. Yes! That is awesome. I'm so happy. Yes! So, Arizona beats Detroit 4-3. San Jose beats LA 4-3. Vancouver beats Chicago 4.
Searching for a reason. I'm in the chaos dimension. Reasons eclipsed by tension. I want not to feel numb about death. Fighting peace is not an easy task. Breathing to see if there's any left. Reading about how many people died. Can someone tell me?